morning, y'all. Here is the number one strategy for how to become the best parent to your child. The number one strategy. I want to share with you while I'm on my walk. So just FYI, if you see me getting out of breath, see me looking around, it's because I am walking and also prioritizing my safety. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Amber. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I love helping women, mothers, parents, because I know the struggle is real. I know it personally because I am a parent of 2 little children, but also just professionally, I've been a psychologist I've been a licensed psychologist for almost 10 years now. Ain't that crazy? I've been a licensed psychologist. I've been Dr. Amber for almost 2 years. But I've been in the field for almost 15. So that means that, what I love to do is share my knowledge about these things on this app right here for you. But this morning, what I really want to talk about is the one strategy for how to become the very best parent for your child specifically. And I like to talk about this because I know that all of us have a deep desire to be a good parent. Whether you have 1 child, 2 children, multiple children, it doesn't matter. We all have a deep desire to really show up and be the very best parent that we can be. And I think for millennials specifically, this is such a, what am I trying to say? This is so familiar, this idea of, wanting to really put your all into parenting and give it your all. One, because many of us have had experiences where we felt like that wasn't given to us, right? Let's be honest. I think the difference between our culture in terms of millennial culture and then other generations is that we have this access to information and the internet, and it really pushes us to take in that information in a very fast way and then try to apply it to our lives. We now know the importance of mental health. We know the importance of emotional expression. We know, what effective communication looks like. We know the importance of emotional intelligence. We know about intergenerational traumas, and we're trying to break generational curses, because those are our priorities as millennial parents. This is why we care so much about, okay, well, am I a good parent? What books do I have to read to be a good parent? What are the things that I have to make sure that I'm prioritizing in order for my child to have the very best experience with me as their parent? I think many of us can put ourselves back into the place of being a child and feeling like we maybe have some unmet needs emotionally, some of us physically, and that's super unfortunate. And because of that, we then want to try our best and give it our all to create the best parenting relationship, parenting experience that our child could have. I get it, y'all. I get it because I know it. I've seen it. I've worked with parents like you, but also I am you. I too want my children to have the very best experience, as they grow up and develop. And I know that I'm a big part of that. So what does it mean to be the very best parent you can be? What do you need to be prioritizing? What are the things you need to be thinking about? I want to first give you the misconceptions of what you've been told that you need to be prioritizing and thinking about. And then I want to give you the real, the literal number one thing, the real, the one and only thing. So these are the misconceptions. These are the things you think you need to be prioritizing in order to become the very best parent. 1, we think that we need to read all the books. Y'all know how many parenting books are out? I'm about to write a few parenting books. And it's important. I'm not trying to say that this is not important. It is important to take in knowledge because, let's be real, parenting is a skill that needs to be developed and cultivated, and that none of us were born with. We were not born knowing how to parent. So that is why with anything that you were being tasked to do you weren't innately given the tools, you got to learn how to do it. including parenting. So, yes, read some books on parenting, get in some support groups, however you need to learn. However, you don't got to read all of them. You don't have to overburden and overwhelm yourself with information to the point that you're paralyzed and anxious because you're afraid to make a mistake. And that is often what I see happening. We inundate ourselves with material because we are so fearful that we don't have all the answers and we're going to make a mistake. But really that interferes with your ability to be a present, nurturing parent. So read some books, take in some information, but you don't got to take in all of it because that's not helpful. I think the other misconception is we assume that we should just be born with it, right? So just like I talked about, we assume, the best parents really just are kind of born with these innate skills that allow them to not get frustrated, these skills to, keep them present. The best parents just always want to be with their kids, and that shit ain't true either. That's not true, because let me tell you, being a parent means you're human, and all of us are human. And even the best parents, the parents that you think are killing it, they're always so calm, they talk to their children so softly and gently, guess what? They lose their shit sometimes too. They get frustrated too. They be annoyed too. Some days they don't like their kids too. So it's not just you, it's all of us. And they were not just born with those skills. These skills, to be present, to be calm, to be regulated, can be cultivated. And yes, someone just said, I surely get my breaks in. Absolutely. That is one way to do it. So nobody is just born with knowing how to be a good parent. However, these things can be cultivated. These things can be developed. And you can learn as you go, because that's the other thing. You may be killing it in one season of parenting, and then that next season comes around and you're like, yo, what just happened? All the skills that you had developed worked really well for your infant, but now you got a toddler and it doesn't work anymore. And so that is, I guess, my last misconception that I will say about what it means to be a good parent. We think that once you have it, you're good. We think, okay, I developed a few skills, I'm in a good place, I shouldn't have any more issues. Like in this season, I've learned how to control my anger, so I'm never going to yell again. That's not true. Because do you know how fast these kids grow out of these clothes? Just the same. These kids' little personalities and their mental capacities, their emotional development changes rapidly. And so just like they are having to change and grow and be different moment to moment to moment, we have to adjust with them. And so just because, one season of parenting was easy for you doesn't mean that you're good for the rest of your parenting journey. So those are just a few misconceptions that I think really interfere with our ability to actually get to the core of what's going to carry us through our parenting journey. But I want to tell you the one thing. I'm out of breath, y'all. Hold on. This walking and talking. I want to tell you the one thing that I think is the most important thing you should be prioritizing in order to become the very best parent for your child. And it is this. You need to be prioritizing yourself. That's it. Was that anticlimactic? I feel like I built it up to then say the priority is you. And now some of y'all might log off. But it's true. And let me tell you why. I just shared a reel. So once we're all done talking here, go back and check out the reel if you haven't, about a coaching client that I'm working with now. And recently we had this very big breakthrough because our work together with her has literally been, how do we undo some of the systems and structures in your household that she played a role in setting up these systems and these structures that primarily depended on her to do all the things. She now has no capacity mentally, physically, time-wise to take care of herself. And now at this point, she's been doing this for about 8 years. She's realizing, I'm crumbling. I have not taken care of myself for the last 8 years because I've been taking care of my husband. I've been taking care of my child. I've been taking care of everything at work. Where is the space for me? And she finally hit a wall and she realized, I cannot keep this up because I literally won't make it. So not only was she experiencing the emotional and physical distress of not taking care of herself for the last 8 years, she also was starting to see the decline in relationship with her daughter. She started to notice that her daughter and herself, like, there was just more conflict. There was more tension. There was a lot of behaviors popping up. And because I'm a psychologist who has worked with children and families, I know that behaviors in our kids really is just a manifestation of some unmet need. And a lot of times that need is relational. When we are seeing that our kids are having behavior issues or troubles at school, a lot of times it goes back to, okay, what's happening between the parent and the child? And there may be some unmet need there just in terms of that connection. And this is not a blame game. No parent is intentionally trying to neglect or take away from their child. However, we get so caught up and we get so busy in the day-to-day grind and these pressures to take care of everybody else except for ourselves, we don't realize that the longer you do it that way, the less and less capacity you also have to truly be present and connected with your kids. And so she started to realize that. She started to see, oh my God, this way that I've been doing motherhood is actually causing some behavior issues in my daughter. And so we flipped that shit real quick. And so the prescription was, no ma'am, the fix is not to spend more time with your daughter right now. I know that feels counterintuitive if you're seeing like, okay, there's some things happening with my kid. What's the next parenting book I need to read? What's something I can take away from myself so I can give to them? No. How do you make more space up here and in here so you actually can be present? And what instead it means is you need to be pouring into yourself more so that you then can be present and connected with your kids. And so this is something I've been saying for a long time. Our kids are so perceptive. They know when we're not okay. We don't have to talk about it with them. They just know because they're connected to us. Just like we just know with them. They just know with us. And so you can pretend and keep trying to hide the fact that you're depleted, you're exhausted, you're always frustrated, your mental health is not right. You can keep trying to hide it, but your kids know. And the thing about it too, they know, and they will never have a conversation with you. It'll come out in their behaviors. It'll come out in their academic struggles. It'll come out in their inability to accept their bodies. It'll come out in their inability to take care of themselves. It'll come out in their relationship challenges because it starts with you. So the very best thing you can do, the most important thing you can do, if you want to be a good parent, the very best parent for your child is to take care of yourself. Prioritize yourself deeply and fiercely, intensely, consistently. Show up for you. Because the better that you can do that for yourself, you naturally are able to make space for the people around you that you love so much, and they can connect to you because your mind, your energy, your body is not clouded with stress. That's it. So stop reading that I was going to say, stop reading that fucking parenting book. No, keep reading it. But know that that parenting book is not going to save you. You're going to have to save yourself. And when you save yourself, You will be the very best parent. You will literally be able to step in and arise into this version of parenthood that you have always dreamed about. But you cannot do it if you are not fueling yourself, taking care of yourself, giving your body and your mind, your emotions, the nutrients, the tools, the support it needs to do it. Because as we know, parenting is hard as fuck. So you got to take care of yourself so you can do this big job. And that's it, y'all. That's it. That's all I had today. So I'm out here taking care of myself. Y'all know I love walking. I highly recommend it. Like, sometimes I feel like I want to create this walking club, a virtual walking club where, like, everybody check in. Did you get your walk in? Because you ain't got to be running. You don't got to be jogging. You don't got to do all this intense stuff. Walk. It's so good for you. Your mind, your body, your energy is so good. So I just hope that this video inspired someone to, like, fiercely take care of themselves today. I hope it inspires you to know that, you know, you may be feeling like you're pulled in all these directions because you think this is the best thing to do to be the best parent, but it hasn't included you at all. You need to focus back in on you, and you'll start to see how much better it makes you at home, with your kids, with your partner, even at work, everywhere. When we take better care of ourselves, we're better everywhere. So, yes, that's it. Oh, somebody wants a walking club. Okay, let me marinate on it because it literally just came to me. Let me marinate, and stay tuned. Oh, y'all want a walking club? Okay. And I'm so glad that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was a big mindset shift for many of you. If you're coming in late, I will share this video. It is a really good one. Please share this with someone. Share it in your stories. Share it with someone that you think needs to hear this. Also, I would really appreciate if you all could comment on the video in the comments about what your takeaway was, because that also helps the video get a little bit more traction too. And just a way to support me. But take care, y'all, and we'll talk soon.